Find your soul sanctuary. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Your soul sanctuary. What what is it? Where should I go? So your soul sanctuary is a place in the world where your body, mind, and soul is gonna feel like so much vitality, so much joy. Your heart's gonna beat, with the earth. And how do where you should go? Well, you need to start asking questions, and that's what I did 3 years ago after my finishing the shamanic initiation from Mongolia. I knew I had to work as a shaman, and I knew I needed to tend the land. And this is an important time right now that we are all together as shamans getting together, because you've experienced everything that's going on, in Canada, in the US, in Europe, in South America, fires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes. It's going to amplify. So the work of the shaman is to work with the land. So to soothe the four elements. And so I made a vow 3 years ago saying, I want to be aligned with my mission. And to do that, we need to know what the mission is exactly. And if you guys are called towards the shamanic mission, that means you'll start getting insights. When do I have to go? The when is really you're going to start feeling it. You're going to start feeling like the place you live doesn't resonate with you. You get tired all the time. You have pain in your body. You get headaches, so you get nauseous, or the noise of the city is too much and you craving nature, or you're too much isolated in nature and you're craving the city. And gradually, you're gonna receive messages, and I'm talking feeling, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you experience. And it's going to be maybe the job that doesn't work for you anymore, the family surrounding that doesn't work anymore. And so gradually you're going to feel like a push in your back to go, to go, to go. And the when, you're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to say, it's whenever I'll be ready to be totally aligned with my mission. And the when can take time, right? So, to serve who or what? And that's very important. You have to define what is your mission here on earth. If you got called by this masterclass, is definitely you get called by shamanism. Definitely you have a love for the earth, but you don't know how to use your gifts and talents. So I can be here to guide you, to talk to your ancestors. Actually, Mimi, your mom says she's in the angelical realm, and she wants you to have the guts to follow your passion. That's the message I'm hearing. So courage, courage to serve, women, men, animals, plants, and that can be any creatures on the earthly realm, but that could be also the invisible realm, because in the shamanic world, I channel as well. I use my drum, I journey, and that's how I retrieve the message that are going to be useful for you guys and for the earth. We had storms here several days ago, and I only have one friend with whom I do ceremony here, and we gather the community. But both of us, we started to drum when we have storms, and the wind started to calm down, and we had no power line damages. So there's a way to communicate with the earth, and the shamanic work is very important right now on earth. All the shamans are getting together and working more and more with the earth, because we can hear her cry, we can hear her rage. It's very important right now for all of us humans to get together and serve on that level. But it could be for you serving the earth on a total different way. You have to ask to get the answer. So those are the signs I started to get. I had a friend in southern Uruguay, close to the place where I am now. I am on the Brazilian side, but very close to Uruguay. And this friend started to send me a bunch of homes, all violet, all purple. Here it says zero estrés. 0 is 3. 3 is a big shamanic number. It's the number of the Trinity, you know, Father Spirit or Father Holy Spirit and Earth. In the shamanic world, we say it's the Mother Earth, Holy Spirit, Mother and the Son, or Father and the Son and Holy Spirit, but it's all together. So I started, when I asked my question, you know, where should I go? What should I do exactly? And where I can serve the earth the best, I started to receive those signs. Then she sent me pictures, and you have a little video of the beach where I am actually walking, taking walks nowadays, or taking gorgeous bath when the temperature is warm. Right now we're in the winter, but it's not as cold, you know, as the East Coast. So look at those images. If you see one common thing, that it's all purple, all kind of violet. And I had never seen, you know, sunset like that. Sunset, all purple, violet. So that friend started to send me, you know, pictures like that. And those pictures, some of them were taken last year. The one is during the day. You see, it's like 200 kilometers of pure wild beach. And I'm Cancer, you know, I'm a sign of Cancer. My birthday is coming up this week, so I need the water. I really want it to be by the beach. And my guide, he's a master fire. So I'm here with the beach, with the element of water. And I deal with fire ceremony, which is my element too. And those are the two main elements to work in shamanism and to balance the earth. And of course, you chant. Why? Because you use the air to chant with the wind, and you talk to the light, and you talk to the clouds. And so when you start talking, chanting, your body is going to start feeling, you know, all those sensations are going to drive you to where you're supposed to go. It's not a mental thing. And I want to be very, how would you say, I want to insist on that you're not going to, you know, start having logic things coming in. You gonna have feeling in your body. You're gonna see those pictures. When I started to see those pictures, my heart was racing. I started to have chills all over my body. When I saw the violet houses, I said, no, this is impossible. This cannot be. And then that's the land that I purchased in the middle of 2020. I was not able to travel here. So to tell you how daring and how bold of a move it was, is that my only element of answer was not radio, was not text message. It was this, ladies and gentlemen, it was my drum. This is my radio with, you know, my spirit guides. And so when I was drumming and chanting, and when my friend put me in touch with a real estate agent who sent me that picture, right away I connected with that pine tree that you see here, that big pine tree. He's actually, it's a sheep. It's a female pine tree, and she's in my backyard. And there's another big one, which is a male pine tree in the front of my yard. And the tree started talking to me, and the tree started calling me, except that it was in Brazil. And I was not ready to buy a piece of land in Brazil and starting to say, oh my God, what the heck is happening? Or what the F is happening? I don't want to go all alone there. I want to go back to France. I want to go to my homeland. But the trees, all the trees were talking to me. Look at that blue sky today. It's that pure blue sky. And I'm looking out at the window right now, and I can see this picture live. And it's really incredible to see that picture and to tell you guys that I actually bought the land without traveling there. So because I had a push, it was something stronger than me calling me. And the whole picture, the whole elements of nature started to talk to me. So there. Of course, I went to, that's crazy. I'm not going to do it. I want to go to my comfortable zone, but I was in around Washington, D.C. at the time. I was fed up with the traffic, with the anxiety in the middle of COVID, with the pollution. But still, my mind was running like crazy. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. You crazy, my guides? You want me alone, Violeta? Give up my kids. My youngest was still starting college. My oldest was finishing college. I don't want to leave my kids. I started to cry. No. And then I want to go back to France. I want to be with my parents and my brother. I have to leave all my friends, all my social network, and I'm gonna have to speak another language. To go or not to go, to be or not to be. That was the question, ladies. So what did I do? I dreamt, I dreamt, I dreamt. And then it was stronger. The call was stronger. And I was full of fear. I can tell you it was crazy. I would wake up some days saying, I can't invest my cash in that. What's going to happen next? And what if COVID lasts for I don't know how many years? I won't be able to travel there. I mean, my mind was running the show until I would take my instrument here, or I would just meditate and go deep into my heart. And when I started to visualize that picture and go deep into my heart, that's when I started to connect with the heart of the earth, which is actually my main program now. And this is the events that I've been doing in Brazil, touching the heart of the earth and connecting with your own heart. Because at that point, it's stronger than anything on earth you will ever experience. The call will be there. The signs will be there. You will feel the push. You will feel the speed of light literally pushing you. Is it too far? Yes, it was very far. 1,000 Brazil. You know, I started to look on the map. Oh my God, how many hours I would have to fly there, and then how long would I stay there, and then paperwork. I don't want to leave my family and friends. Your mind, the attachment, because we're so attached to the blood family, we're so attached to the friends until we meet the real family. When I mean the real family, I mean the soul family. And that I had met, you know, after 20 some years off and on in the US, I only had one great sister that I had met who was very helpful during my whole transition. But I didn't have a whole family. I didn't have a whole support of a soul family. And I knew the shamanic path would be very hard because my masters, I was trained by a master from Peru first, and then the master from Mongolia told me, the path of a shaman, especially for a woman, and a woman originally from Europe, is hard. You're going to have to be strong and courageous. Are you ready to do it, Violeta? Yes, I'm ready, but not 100% yet, you know? So it was kind of like that. It was freaky. How am I going to do it alone? That was the main question. That was the main question. And that's when faith, ladies, and courage came along. And up till now, I was just telling Anne-Sophie, I'm fed up to be alone here in the house sometimes, you know, with all the challenges I have to deal with. I love doing the events I love doing those masterclass. I love doing the online classes and interacting with people. But I love the human touch and the embrace, and I'm happy to have the earth supporting me. But when you're going to launch a whole project and you want to build a home and you want to live in a foreign country where you've never been, you're going to say, who's going to support me? And that's when faith comes along, because your ancestors, your courageous guides that we can identify during shamanic journeys are going to be there to support you. And thanks to my path and thanks to my master, I knew who my courageous guides were. Basically, you have one major male, one major female guide who will here to empower you, but you have other ancestors, and you can also have, ascended masters helping you. So it was just a question of faith. Will I be helped? It's always the question. How am I going to do that all by myself? Who's going to be there to help me? Because it's okay, to have faith and connect with the angels and our ancestors, but they're up there, they're in the invisible world. So what I wanted was visible people, visible signs, to help me and push me. Courage. I just stated that. That's the first thing you're going to have to master, sisters and brothers. The shamanic path, or any spiritual path, if you really want to be aligned with your mission, and if you're here to serve the earth, you're going to need a major doses of courage, because you're going to have tons of setbacks. You're going to have to pass tons of obstacles, but you have to continue, right? Leap of faith, that's what I just did. So imagine you're just jumping. You're jumping in the wide open like that. And I, up till now, I still have dreams where I find myself flying, and I don't have anybody holding me, but I know I can fly, and that the elements will support me. And when I land here in my body every day, because right now, I don't know about you, but I'm doing a lot of galactic dreams, astral dreams. I don't always remember everywhere I go, but I know that when I come back into my body, a lot of time I can feel it, And that leap of faith is you feel that you're flying, but you don't really have a parachute. So you just have to trust that once you're going to get there, the parachute's going to come. And what I would say is, I got signs after signs after signs to reassure me. I want to accomplish my mission, my soul mission. Yes or no? I want you today to ask yourself that question. Because right now on social media, you're going to see so many people talking about their purpose on life and their mission on life. I'm going to help you find your mission and your purpose. And I can be that instrument to help you that. But the key question, guys, is, are you ready to accomplish it? Are you ready to go all the way to do it? I had to give up my apartment. I had a part-time job. I already had, my business was running, but I had a side job. I had my children. I had a few friends, but still friends. And I was in my comfort zone, So the key is, when you make a vow, and if we can nail what your mission is, are you ready to do everything it takes to accomplish it? And that requires what? That requires major trust and major courage, and trusting signs that sometimes are not that obvious. You're going to see something on the blackboard, somebody's going to give you a book, you're going to hear music, or you'll be on the street and you'll find a paper with something written on it. So you're going to have to start, tuning so much your heart that you're very alert to all the signs that are going to reassure you that you're on the right path, and that you are the one to accomplish your mission. Because what's important is, nobody else on earth can accomplish your specific mission. There are, a lot of shamans on earth, but all of us do different things. All of us perceive the world and our reality in a different way. You know, I'm more of chanting. My mentor likes to chant and drum, and my healing power is really through my voice and sometimes my hands, but really through my voice and the power of the drum. Other shamans work with plant medicines. Others work mainly with the ceremony. I do ceremony, but they'll do, you know, ceremony for the earth. So depending on what path you're on, remember that your soul mission is unique, but you need to have the guts to go all the way. What is it exactly? So that's where I would say my talent as practicing journey, shamanic journey comes in, is like you start asking questions, you ask questions to your ancestors, to your gods, and to your heart. And you tune in to refine and refine and refine and be more and more in alignment, you know, enlightenment and alignment with the mission. That's very important. So that's the land. It was raw when I bought it. So that's the front. On the right is the front pine tree. On the left, the back pine tree. And that's how I bought it in December 2020. Remember, in the middle of COVID, I was not able to travel because the borders were closed. That's the map that I drew of the house. And I made a lot of changes along the way. It's like that little office in the entryway is not there anymore. And all that I did while drumming, I would drum and I would ask the land, how do you want me to build that house? How is it going to be in perfect harmony with the energy there? And you see the house on the left, as I arrived, they had made kind of a standby bridge to go over the land. And on the right, you can see that pillar. And when I entered the house last year, when I finally landed in December 2021, no, it was not last year, it was 2 years ago. That time goes really fast. And I saw that pillar in the middle of the house. I said, what happened? They said the roof collapsed. And actually, during the whole time, I was connected with the Ascended Masters. And today, guys, they replaced that metal pillar by a column. And when you look at it from the kitchen, it really looks like Jesus' cross. So it was a sign for me that, you know, this house would be a sanctuary of light, because my vision, the vision that I downloaded initially, was that major house here, and that I would build cottages around to welcome people in retreats. As we speak today, I was able to acquire more lands around, then I will start building actually open pergolas to do ceremonies. But it was kind of striking when I arrived there and they told me that the roof had collapsed and they had to put that. So this is to explain that the land doesn't belong to us. We belong to the land. That is a native proverb, that any human on earth could, with awareness, choose the perfect land to serve, to live on, build the perfect little cottage or home or whatever, or glamping, whatever you feel, in agreement with the elements, in agreement with the spirit of the land. And I think, Shanda, you said originally you were from Hawaii, if I'm, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And this is a tradition in, you know, in the native Hawaiian too. You ask permission to the land before you're going to do anything. You honor the land before you're going to do anything. And so actually, I did not decide how everything would be. I was guided to do it that way. And if you look at my house, it doesn't have a front door. The door, there's one door, a sliding glass door on the side, actually east, and there's a back door north. And all spirit, all my guides, all my ancestors were telling me is that I had to follow a little bit of a feng shui energy, but also the natural orientation of the land, because I face the front of the house is south or southwest a little bit. And so the house had to be perfectly at an angle that when you look at it, it makes the cross of the four directions. Inside, you have that columns that reaffirm the four directions and the master of light. And I pierced those holes that you can see. There's a round hole right above my bedroom for the air to circulate in the house. So there's a major room in the middle, 2 bedroom and 2 bathroom. But if you look at the map with all the windows and the doors, all the four directions are respected. The air circulates really openly in the house. The sunlight comes mainly in the morning. So it was a whole process of harmonizing myself so I would be in harmony with the land I was going to. And I would live in a house that would not be disrupting, the land where I was building it. So this was the process I was going through. This is the house today. So you see, also everybody was telling me, you have to do a fence, people can't get over it. And I said, no, I'm going to ask the land, what does she need? What kind of fence she needs? And I met a beautiful Brazilian lady who works with the mud, and she built that wall with actually leaves, grass, and natural mud from the land. And they took pieces of wood that had fallen around to build that little gate. I have a deck made out of wood around, and the colors also. People told me, oh, you have to paint it that way, that way. And I said, no, I'm going to wait until the house and the land talks to me to tell me which color it would be. And I'm all surrounded by pine trees. So it's a little piece of heaven today that still has to go through challenges because it has to adapt to my energy and the energy of people coming in and out. So the question you have to ask yourself, if you want to find your soul sanctuary, it doesn't mean that you guys will have to build a home. Okay, this is my process. But what's going on right now in your life, what's calling you maybe to live in a place in harmony with your heart and soul, not with your mind, not what your family says or people say around you. What really makes your heart rejoice? Like when you're in a place, for me, the beach, and especially the beach here, which is pure and virgin. Every time I go to the beach, I went yesterday and it was cold. I feel so rejuvenated, and the waves talk to me and the wind talk to me. Here, the trees, the plants, the birds. What makes your heart sing? And that's why you have to ask yourself, what's going on in my life right now that is not making my heart sing? Do I like what I do? For a lot of us, we get stuck in a job forever that we don't really like, but it pays the bills, etc. So we just continue to do it. So ask yourself, do I like what I do? Am I with the right partner for me? Am I with a partner, or maybe I'm not? Am I happy alone? Am I seeking a partner? I am still on my own, and sometimes I get really angry because I still have to go through the process on my own. But I believe at some point somebody will show up. But most of the time, I have to be happy with myself. I have to make my heart sing, because it's until then that I can truly connect with Mother Earth. I can truly connect with the heart of the earth, and then give that medicine to you guys and honor that medicine to you guys and to the earth to live in perfect harmony. Do I like where I live? That was the main question for me. if you don't like where you live, it's going to be very hard for you to make your heart sing, because the home base of your heart and soul has to be kind of your sanctuary. And that's why I called that masterclass Find Your Soul Sanctuary, because I am in my soul sanctuary. It doesn't mean I don't go through challenges, but what I can tell you is every morning when I do yoga on my deck, and this morning was cold, and I breathe that fresh air. And the air here, I can't explain, guys. It's a mix of salty and sweet. I've never smelled something so delicious in my life. And I listen to the birds. And from my home, I can hear the waves in my backyard. So imagine that music. At night, last night, it was super cold, but the sky is like a cupola of stars, above me. So it's like sometimes I'm in a total state of awe. I'm in a total state of levitation, just because my soul is finally at home here. Okay. Those are the signs that I received when I arrived. The eagle from Brazil. Oops, sorry. And then I stayed in a little cottage that was all broken down, and I opened the first cupboard, and they gave me a little cup of love. And remember, I'm in Brazil, so it was very unusual to find a little cup with something written in English coming from the US. And when I arrived, the pine tree in front of the house had a rose made out of cloth on the tree. And I was staying at the little apartment in front of a hole on 1111. So pay attention to signs, guys. Pay attention to the signs after you're going to ask the question when you're first going to start the journey. Pay attention to the signs during the journey, right? Because they're always going to be there to reaffirm you. The eagle is a big shamanic sign where you have to observe your life, see your life from above. Don't engage in the drama and tragedy. The rose for me was very reassuring because I've been working with Mary Magdalene for many years, and the rose is the high consciousness in Europe. And the 1111 is when your intention and your creation are in harmony. Be mindful about numbers and number series, angelic numbers. When I landed here, so you're going to see on the map where I am. I am south of Pelotas, so really close to also Argentina, but I'm still in Brazil. This is the shaman that I met when I arrived in Porto Alegre, which is the main town of the state. And on the right, those are Caxinas. Mimi, if you're connected with the Native Americans, those are Caxinas from Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I had traveled like 2 or 3 months before I landed there. And the shaman contacted me as soon as I arrived and looked at what he had. My Kachina was the one on the left, the blue and black hat. This is the hat that I wear, the Mongolian hat. And that's what he had on his drum. This guy was essential in my journey because he helped me so much with the builders here that were lacking tremendous integrity. So I had to go through major obstacles to finish, the project, but I didn't give up. Very important. Don't give up. And those are the events that I did recently. That was all of June. I had no idea that, I would have to take my medicine further into Brazil. I had no idea who I would meet along the way. And all I can say is I love to do events. I love to do events with groups and workshops. So on the left, it was in San Miguel. San Miguel is Archangel Michael. There's a place, a little town in northern Brazil called San Miguel, where they had major massacres of the Guaranis. And I was invited to go there. I performed a major ceremony of forgiveness with the Guarani chief, 600,000 Guaranis. The Guaranis are indigenous native indigenous in Brazil. 600,000 Guaranis had been killed, sacrificed, in the 17th century. And I was invited then when the gentleman that you see that gave me a blessing told me, we have been waiting for you for 30 years, Violetta. I said, what? We needed somebody like you with Mongolian lineage who knew about the practice also of North America, of Asia and South America, to do that forgiveness ceremony here with us. So sometimes you're going to be afraid, you are not sure, but you just have to trust the process until the doors open gradually. And then, since the last 2 months, the doors have opened wide for me to do those events. And I really rejoice when I do that. One of the pictures here with the green scarf is a sound healer that I met here. He channels songs, and actually he channeled the song about the heart of the earth. That's beautiful. And this is a fire ceremony event that I did. I always do sacred fire where we honor the earth. So that is to say that here I have really met my soul family. I have met great healers, but also the groups that are coming to my events are much bigger than what I used to do in the US, and people are really responding. The Brazilians have understood that Amazonia and nature in their country, here in Brazil, is vital for the balance in the world. Like Hawaii is vital, like the desert in the US is vital. So I'm offering this 12 weeks online group class, which is called Mother Earth Heartbeat. So it's a live group class, and we'll meet like every week. And then you'll have one-on-one every 2 weeks with me, where I can retrieve, important ancestors for you and push you gently, gently, I always say sweetly and gently, on your path if you feel the call. So we do shamanic journeys, we connect with your guides, I teach you how to trust the sign, how to recognize the sign, and to finally do that leap of faith. And today we have an early bird of 3 payments for 777, which is my lucky number, and today 17/7 of the year 7. 2023 is the year 7, spiritual world. This is a retreat that I'm organizing in the south of France in October, and this is the view of 360 view of the place where we'll be staying, right in the mountains of Aveyron. So that will be end of October there. I love this video. You can see you overlooking the mountains and the green. So voila. And so that's the journey. If you want to join me in France, if you have a calling, if you want to meet me, 27th, 30th October. And we also have an early bird for that, so you can connect with us. These are smaller groups, right? It's 4 days, 3 nights. And it's accommodation, meals, everything included, plus circles, walking natures. And of course, you have to add your airfare to Paris. So if you have questions, you're welcome about that. And just as you know, I always do retreats in nature. As a shamanic practitioner, it's very important for me to work outdoor, to work with your heart and the heart of the earth. So this is my website and Facebook groups. So I hope, ladies, you can join me, and I'm ready for questions.